Hey, it's Wes. Welcome to this video. Most photographers ask me, which camera should I buy? That's a typical question. I have a better question for you to be asking. Which camera will change your life? That's right. In this video, I'm going to tell you which camera helped me commit, grow, and turn my own creativity into income, into satisfaction, into fulfillment, into purpose in life. Hey everybody, today I'm going to tell you about the camera that has made me the most money. And so this camera undoubtedly is the Canon EOS R. Let me tell you why. I've owned probably a dozen cameras over the last 8 years as a serious freelance photographer. And I've probably owned, probably since 2010, I've used cameras for freelance work, starting with the Canon Rebel T5i. But Canon EOS R was the #1 camera that has made me the most money. And here's why. Number one is I hadn't owned a camera before. And when I bought this camera, I thought, I'm buying this for myself. This is to grow as a photographer. This is to learn. And that is the secret right there, is I jumped into this camera owning it because I wanted to learn and I wanted to document everything that I was going to do. That's when I started my YouTube channel. Actually, I started the YouTube channel like maybe a year before that to document my journey. And I had a GH5 from work, and I was using it for landscape photography. I was all over the place. I didn't know. Don't go back and watch those early videos. It's very interesting what I thought I was doing. But once I dedicated myself to save up money and purchase the Canon EOS R, I decided I was going to document my learning journey with photography. And so what I did actually that year is I started driving Lyft to earn extra money so that I could just kind of buy it with a side checking account. So I started driving Lyft in the morning. We lived right by Orange County Airport, so I would get up early before work, like 4 a.m. I would give people rides to the airport. I'd make pretty good money. Basically, once I hit $100, I wouldn't drive anymore the rest of the week. And so I used that money to get started with the Canon EOS R. So there was something about, it was a camera just for me to learn. That's one principle that made me the most money. Because with that being said, I went into it with sort of like a commitment. This is to me, there's no fear. Everything I'm doing is for my own personal growth. So that led me into situations where I started to learn food photography. And I wanted to learn off-camera light, strobe lighting. And I would ask, there was a local restaurant, Journeyman in Fullerton. I would go there and I would take photos of their food to practice. I would make videos about the journey on YouTube. But that actually led to me getting food photography gigs. Clients would hire me. I did the Hello Kitty Cafe in Irvine. And I did, they had all these kind of cocktails for their cafe, little speakeasy they had. And I would do these photos for their products, for their Instagram. Very, very dialed in brand, pinks and whites. And I had to be very precise. Very demanding job. Great company to work with. But if I hadn't bought that camera for myself and for my journey and my learning in the YouTube, I wouldn't have ever landed in doing food photography. So that's an example. You're a beautiful person and a good person. And if no one has told you that today, let me be the first one to tell you that. Another example is just learning off-camera flash. Like that elevated my portrait game. I got more portrait work. I started getting into event photography because my photos popped, because I would hold the flash in one hand and the camera in the other, and I would shoot kind of, so the off-camera flash came in at a angle that was pleasing. So my photos look good. I got hired and rehired as an event photographer. My photos stood out. And Canon EOS R, that was it. Wasn't the fastest camera, and it wasn't the most expensive. So that's the second reason: event photography with the off-camera flash, food photography. And then actually let's talk about YouTube, because when I started making videos, I really was just documenting my learning journey, but I got to this point where I'm like, I'm also interested in this creator economy. And I put myself in a position to get the watch time, get the number of subscribers, and start to monetize my channel. And that was, that was probably still is life-changing, even though I haven't made it as a YouTuber or anything like that. But those videos, those tutorials, those things I learned, I documented, I put on my channel, they still earn me money. And thousands of people, hundreds of thousands in some videos, people have hundreds of thousands of views. People have seen my video and got some benefit out of it. But in particular, those views have led to, ads rolling during that video, and then, cash from YouTube. So the video really, using the EOS R on the YouTube channel and getting monetized, that's something that I don't know what it is exactly, but YouTube as a client is the biggest source of income that I have. And I've done some decent one-day photography gigs, so I'm grateful for that. So I think a second place camera was the Canon R5, and I really upgraded the EOS R to that. I thought for photography, but what happened is I just started to make more videos and films, and then I just started moving into filmmaking, honestly, and I used that to make some mini documentaries. So that camera was significant, but I made less money with that camera. It's kind of secondary. The EOS R really was the one that broke it open for me, that launched the YouTube channel. And it's really wild to reflect how one camera can have that kind of landmark. Is that hallmark? Like, how can it really make that much of an impact? But the Canon EOS R really changed my trajectory as an artist, as a freelancer, as an entrepreneur. And I think of all the things that I've learned, it really helped me monetize these skills of creativity. So that is the camera that has made me the most money. So that's an interesting question and a good reflection. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.